tonight because it's only been 4 months since President Trump took office. And look at this. The economy is booming. Consumer confidence just made its largest jump in 4 years amid a trade truce with China. Gas prices hit a 4-year low last week ahead of the Memorial Day weekend. And it's time now for our Hannity Washington briefing. White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt is with us. Good news on the economy, and the markets do seem to respond whenever the president gets close to or starts talking about trade deals, like, for example, with China, like with Great Britain. Now there's talk of a deal coming with the European Union.
That's right, Sean. There is good news today. Consumer confidence hit a record high, and also the highly respected pollster Matt Rasmussen showed that the majority of Americans view our country as heading on the right track under President Trump. This is a start.
All right, so let's stop there. When you hear all this, and I understand completely her job and what she is supposed to do, when you hear that, what is your reaction, Professor?
Here's the way I would react to that. And I'm going to do it by telling you a story. Suppose you don't feel well and it's bothering you. You know, you're getting up in the morning and you just don't feel right. So after a few days, you decide, I'm going to go see my doctor. And you make an appointment, you go to the doctor, you tell him about how you don't feel well. And he says, okay, open your mouth. I'm going to put a thermometer under your tongue. And let's see. Oh, it's 98.6. You're in great shape. Go home. You'll be fine. The only rational response to such a story is to get a different doctor. Why? Because that's malfeasance. You could sue the guy for that. The medical profession has developed mechanisms to test your body in a whole host of ways. Blood tests, cardiograms, MRIs. You probably know. People know a lot of these mechanisms because they've heard their doctors describe them. If you want a diagnosis of something that's bothering you, the doctor is to use all of the relevant mechanisms to gather all of the statistics needed to give you a balanced response to your complaint. Excuse me. He can't cherry pick this or that statistic. He expects 99% of the time that there will be some indicators that your body is quite healthy. But there will be other indicators that your body has got problems of one kind or another. All of our bodies do. It's the job of the doctor not to tell you either the good news or the bad news, but to use his skill, his training, his experience to give you a balanced diagnosis that weighs both the positive and the negative. Okay. The exact same thing applies to analyzing the condition of an economy. What Ms. Leavitt there did, and what Hannity did before, would get you an F for failure in any economics course worthy of the name. Why? Because what you did is take 2 or 3 good news statistics, and let's assume for the moment that they were accurate. You took some good news statistics and you said, see, you're in great shape. That's like the doctor with the thermometer. You're fired is the answer to that. I want to know what were the good signs, what were the bad signs, and how do you come to a balanced conclusion given both of them? They didn't do that. What they did is cheap advertising. When a company that, I'm going to pick something, makes banana splits, hires an advertising agency, they tell you everything good they can think about in terms of banana splits. Oh, you'll feel wonderful. Oh, it's delicious. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. They don't tell you about the problems. this has got 800 calories, or this has got no nutrition at all. This, oh no, that's not what an advertiser does. An advertiser hypes the good news and hides the bad news. That's what you're getting from Leavitt and Hannity. And since they're in the, they're working together with Trump, it's good news. Here it is, isn't it wonderful? End of story. They should be fired. That's not journalism. That's junk. And by the way, Democrats do this also. I'm not appealing. This is not a partisan thing.
I agree.
This is a tragedy that comes out of Biden and his news person every bit as much as, maybe almost as much as Trump and Leavitt. But this is stuff which, if you have even just a little understanding of these things, you're listening. Look, when we hear a commercial, that's, say, a commercial for a bar of soap, and we hear the announcer say, buy this brand of soap because not only will you clean yourself up by using it, but it'll transform your sex life. Okay, we giggle. We giggle. Why? Because we understand the nonsense here. We know what they want. They want to sell the soap. They want us to buy that brand of soap. Okay, they want that. They make money off of that. But the rest of it is noise, it's junk, because they think it's cute, and maybe you'll giggle, and maybe you'll feel better about buying that soap. Maybe you'll actually believe it'll do something for your sex life. But it's noise, it's junk. That's what we're getting here. We're giving two statistics, one about consumer confidence, and one about, I forget what the second one was, and we're told, see, isn't the economy doing well? This is unbelievably incompetent at best and downright hustling at worst, in the sense of advertisers who not only don't tell you about the negative, but they hype the positive, even knowing that the negative is more than enough to keep you away from that. Every day, children in this country are shown advertisements about the wonderful joys of Cocoa Puffs as a cereal in the morning. If you investigate, there is no nutritional value to Cocoa Puffs. It's purely fat, sugar, and grain, and it's not good for your body. It's not good for your mind. There's a lot of reasons not to. You don't hear any of those. You hear about how it's delicious and it has wonderful colors and it reminds you of chocolate and maybe three other good things. That's the job of the advertiser. The problem with a capitalist system like ours is that advertising has become what people think communication is, that they don't even expect a balanced assessment. They expect to be hustled. It makes it impossible for honest people to have conversations half the time, because the listener to what you're trying to say, instead of listening to you as a person with an opinion that has taken into account pluses and minuses, worries that you might be hustling them. You might be telling them what is in effect a lie, giving them a one-sided picture for some ulterior motive you have. And it means the ability for people to get to know and trust each other is badly hampered by the capitalist system.